Welcome to the wretched Netch Corner Club. The blacksmith up at Skull Village seems to have gone missing, and they've asked us to keep an eye out.
If you use them to make your Kwama eggs...
Heard that Reeklings got hold of Thirsk Mead Hall, forced the Nords who live there to move to a camp nearby. Word's reached us that the dragons have returned. I wonder if we'll see them in Solstheim. I heard crazy old Cressius has been sneaking in the Raven Rock mine again. At his age, he's going to get himself killed in there. Coast has been dangerous lately. A lot of reavers about. I've heard they're searching for the treasure of Aknir Deathbrand, the Pirate King. The Redoran Guard have spotted a pack of werewolves in the mountains. The hunters up on Frostmoon Crag might know more. If you've got gold on your hands, you might talk to Rallus of a Colbjorn Barrow. I've heard he wants to excavate the place. The Ashspawn attacks on the bulwark are getting worse. Captain Veleth is trying his best, but I think the Redoran Guard are overwhelmed. With the mine shut down, there's no telling how much longer Raven Rock's going to last. Hopefully, Councillor Morvain has a plan.
Miserable. At least my father will let me drink whatever I want without complaining. Tell Geldis I appreciate it. Keep yourself safe.
I'll give you this one. Take that swill and pour it down a well.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Teldrin Serro, blade for hire. If you have the coin.
Working on those... I'm at your... Sorry. Geldis won't allow me to drink while I'm working at Netch.
Wants to speak to me. He should do it in person.
It's not from your father. It's from Captain Veleth. Welcome to the wretched Netch Corner. Lady, if you need anything,
Tell me, what did he say?
Be there. We have all sorts of authentic dark elf food and drink here. Geldis spares no.
Want to buy anything? Or just laugh at our miss? Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding.
Welcome to
Thanks.
Always a pleasure to taste anything Geldis comes up with.
Don't pity. The day I refuse Sujama from Geldis is the day I sprout wings and fly off this rock.
Looking for any... I should mix some of this into my next potion. Who knows what would happen. Remember, I have plenty of potions and ingredients if you're ever in the market.
Got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds. Welcome to the wretched Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sujama that will... There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sujama in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a Netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the Netch, yells, "Have a drink!" and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the Netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that Netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. Perfect. All that's left now is to go ahead and wait for the patrons to come in. As promised, here's a little something for yourself. Watch yourself out there. Looks like an ash storm might be brewing.
Spare some coin for a lost soul. Mogul, careful. Anything for my stand today?
You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again.
Prospecting for ebony?
Damn it, woman. I said to leave me be.
Cretius, last time you explored the mine, you almost fell to your death. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a widow.
And I'm telling you that I'll do whatever it takes to find my great-grandfather's remains. He's down here. I can feel it.
That was almost 2 centuries ago. There may be nothing left to find.
Just let me go, woman.
Cretius, you're an obstinate old fool, and you're going to get yourself killed.
I ventured into quite a few
apologies for
northern
Cretius's
wastes.
ravings. That foolish old man thinks he's 30 years younger than he is. He's going to get himself killed traipsing around the mine. He's convinced himself that there's some sort of conspiracy involving the East Empire Company and the mine's closure. We came across some old letters that belonged to his great-grandfather in our house, and he believes every word written in them. Cretius's great-grandfather worked for the East Empire Company. The letters mention some sort of discovery he was sent to investigate. There's really nothing remarkable in the letters. I don't know what he's so excited about. Gratian Corellius. He was an explorer for the East Empire Company. They'd send him all over Tamriel when they had difficulties in a mining operation. Poor man. Can you imagine doing all that dangerous work just to end up dying at your own doorstep? There was a horrible accident, and he was killed when one of the tunnels collapsed. They were never even able to go down there and recover the body. The East Empire Company sealed that section off to prevent any more tragedies. Cretius is convinced it's a story cooked up by the company to cover up something else, but I don't know. My beloved is almost 80 years old, and I think the shock of finding one of his ancestors' things has left his mind a bit confused. I love him dearly, and I support everything he does. But I can't let him chase this silly idea, or he may end up joining Gratian in a rocky grave. To understand how we met one another, you have to appreciate what he's going through. Cretius is a third-generation miner. All his life, he's lived and breathed nothing else. By the time Cretius came of age, the ebony mine in Raven Rock was shut down. He took that quite hard. Our home has been in his family for over 200 years. Leaving would have been like abandoning precious memories. Instead, he stayed on Solstheim and spent most of his life prospecting for a new ebony source. Sadly, it never surfaced. A decade ago, this drove him into a deep depression. He shut himself inside his home and refused to come out. It was after refusing to allow anyone to bring him food, Counselor Morvain ordered his door to be knocked down before Cretius starved to death. I was a temple priest at the time, and they had me use my healing arts to restore strength to his ailing body. I stayed for a while and cared for him, then I suppose we fell in love. Far from it. In fact, I'm no longer welcome there. In all honesty, it came down to a disagreement between what I believe and what Elder Othraloth believes. I'd prefer not to get into the details, but let's just say our opinions about the current status of the Tribunal vary widely. Be careful out there.
Can't you see I'm busy? Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are. Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But mark my words, these mines hold a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map. A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug 2 centuries ago. It killed my great-grandfather and left Raven Rock with a worthless and tainted mine. You never heard of them? They're the largest trading company in Tamriel, originally chartered by the Emperor of Cyrodiil himself. Gratian Kyrelius. He spent his entire life exploring ancient ruins across Tamriel, and he died in these very mines almost 200 years ago. The East Empire Company called it a terrible accident, claiming that he was lost in a rockfall, but I know better.
Danger's about, I can tell.
My wife and I were cleaning out our home, and we came across some of my great-grandfather's things locked in an old chest. I found an unsent letter he'd written to the East Empire Company, and a key. It describes a discovery that was made in the mine by some of the diggers. They wanted Gratian to take a closer look. The East Empire Company must have felt it was of great value, as they locked that section of the mine off from everyone else. It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance. Finally, someone who believes me. I'm telling you, there's something big down there. Something that the East Empire Company wanted to hide from everyone. Look, my wife nags that I'm too old to go traipsing around these mines chasing my story. Time's my enemy. It's caught up with me before I could find the answers that I'm looking for. I do. I want to know what happened to Gratian, and what the East Empire Company is keeping from all of us. Gratian kept a journal of notes about his discoveries. If you can find his remains, I'm hoping it will help. Here's everything I have. The letter, the key. Please, do this for me, so I can finally regain the respect that I've lost. Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
Yes? Did you want something?
Son!
I will not fall. No! I think it's broken nail. Can you just imagine how ancient this place must be? Hundreds of years, thousands. We're fine.
Son! Halt!
Sovngarde awaits you. Think you can take me? You're as good as dead.
What makes you think you're any different from the hundreds of other blood flowers?
The whites take you. What was that? Ha! Found you. Face.
You obviously never met me. Otherwise you would be shouting right now. This does it!
The whites. avoid these types of Yes? Did you want something? Yes? Did you want something?
Don't look at me. I'm not taking the blame. Did you want something?
I will not fall.
Why do you use it?
I do not fear. Is someone there?
lucky! I'm gonna...
Think you can take me?
I'm all ears. Well, not literally, of course.
Who's there?
Built it so long ago.
I knew I was coming. Another day, another victory.
What can I do for you, friend? You're back. Please, tell me what you found. Let me see that. Huh, I knew it. Gratian's death wasn't because of a rockfall. It was just a story to keep people away from the tombs. Now that I have his journal in hand, I can get some closure from the East Empire Company. Make them pay for lying to everyone. Thank you. Now, I believe I owe you a little more than a debt of gratitude for all that work you did. Here, it's not much, but it's the best an old retired miner can do. Those cowards left decades ago. Every single damned one of them. The moment the ebony mine dried up, they pulled up stakes. Ridiculous. Well, you know it as well as I do. Raven Rock Mine wasn't empty at all. It's still rich in ebony ore. I come from 3 generations of miners, and I couldn't get anyone to believe me. Well, we showed them, didn't we? Our home has stood in Raven Rock since the colony was founded. Grayson helped build it with his own 2 hands. After Grayson died, he left behind a wife and a son. My grandfather, Relicus. Relicus lived there for quite a long time, working in the other sections of the mine until he was slain by reavers. I never knew my father. My mother and I always lived alone. I asked her about him many times, but she seemed angry and refused to speak about him. So eventually, I let it go. When I was old enough, I began working in the mine, hoping to make my fortune and eventually move to the Imperial City. Unfortunately, yes. I only had enough coins saved to send one of us back to the Imperial City. So I sent my mother alone. I wanted her to see her homeland before she died. Until I met my darling Aphia, yes. I suppose you could have called me a bitter old hermit. Now I'm just old. Mark my words, Raven Rock isn't finished yet.
How can I help you? I'll be sure to put it to good use. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Keep moving. Got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
You've brought Raven.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. How do you think? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. The mine's open, people are buying. Take a look. Sure thing. It's yours for... I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Come back any... Oh, my door's always open.
Your contribution, Rodney, will never be...
Have any kinfolk?
Just a brother.